Hi, my name is Phong, and this week I'm going to talk about financial ratios, perhaps one of the most important concepts to evaluate your investment and evaluate companies in general. So first off, we have to understand what are financial ratios. I'm pretty sure you all know what are ratio at this point, right? It's basic math. So financial ratio are ratio that help to evaluate a company financial health, and it provides insight into different areas of a company like liquidity, profitability, valuation, etc. And it's uh, one of the tool one of the tools to help you make informed investment decisions. And in fact, it's one of the cornerstone of the fundamental analysis. And those are some of the more popular types of ratio analysis here. So why do those ratios matter? There are three key reasons. The first one, it helps investors to compare companies in the same industry or how it perform over time. Secondly, it can be used by external parties, in this case, most likely banks, to um, to set benchmarks. Like they could calculate your liquidity ratio or your leverage ratio to see how much debt do you have. Are you able to pay the interest on time? And based on those standards, they will let you borrow the money or not. And the third one, it's one of the quick way to have an overview of the company, like the financial health and stability. It also has some limitations. The first one, because the ratio, it has a numerator divided by the denominator, right? So to increase the ratio, the company could either increase the numerator or decrease the denominator. So there are various ways to do that, and it might be sketchy at times. Those ratios are incomplete on their own, and you should pair it with other kinds of analysis. Uh, you shouldn't just invest solely on ratio analysis. And the third one is context matters. You can only use ratio analysis to evaluate companies in the same industry, because the ratio are different. It could vary a lot. Like for example, the price to earning ratio in the tech industry, it could be from 30 to 35, but that same ratio in the retail industry usually from 20 to 25. So it's really hard to compare. For let's say Walmart and Google. So the first ratio I want to talk about is price to earning ratio. The formula is you took the share price, you divide it by the earning per share, and this basically show how much the market participants willing to pay for the past or the future earnings of the companies. And there are two scenarios. If the P ratio is high, then it either investor believe in the future of the company or the stock might be overvalued. And the opposite case for low P ratio, investor doesn't believe in the future earnings of the company, and the stock might be undervalued. The next one is the price to book ratio. The formula is you took the share price and you divide it by the book value per share. So one may ask, how do I calculate the book value per share? Sounds pretty complicated, right? So this is the formula. You took the total assets minus intangible assets minus total liabilities and divided by the numbers of outstanding shares. So this basically compares the market value of the company to the book value of the equity. So, and it usually comes with another ratio, which is the return on equity. And if there are large differences between those two, then there could be red flags. So if the price to book ratio is less than one, then could be undervalued. There can be problems with the company. And if the price to book ratio is larger than one, then it might be overvalued or it has strong future. The third one is the debt to equity ratio. This this is calculated by taking the total liabilities divided by the shareholders' equity. So this basically measures company financial leverage. So uh, it's quite easy to understand that if this ratio is high, then the company has a lot of debt and therefore exposed to a lot more risk. And if this ratio is low, then there are much lower financial risk because they don't have that much debt, right? But you also have to remember that this ratio is affected a lot by long-term debt because those are usually much bigger than the short-term debt. So if you are investor who want to evaluate the company short-term obligations, can they pay interest on time, then you might use another uh, ratio rather than this one. So in conclusion, financial ratios are one of the key tools for investment analysis. In fact, it's the cornerstone for fundamental analysis. You should combine ratio for comprehensive understanding. So you should use it with other kinds of analysis, and you always consider industry and market context. Thank you for listening.